Hello, this is Systems of Linear Equations and Inequalities, Graphing and Solving Systems of Linear Inequalities, Example 3. And Example 3, we have a story problem here that describes a very complicated situation. And we have to come up with the inequalities to graph in order to describe all of this information. Let's see, I'll start here. This looks like the easiest place. In a compound inequality like this, you start in the middle and read this way. Then you go back to the middle and read this way. So this is x is greater than or equal to 20, and x is less than or equal to 65. So I wrote that down. X is greater than or equal to 20, x is less than or equal to 65. And it says that x is the age. And it says that the theoretical maximum heart rate is 220 minus x, where x is the age. So if you're 20 years old, your theoretical maximum heart rate is 200. I think they mean that theoretically, if your heart rate goes above this, you die. I think they call it theoretical because for a 20-year-old person, there's probably some of them, their heart rate can go over 200. For some, maybe they would die before it hits 200. Anyway, we're not supposed to go to the maximum. We're supposed to go to 70%. It's supposed to be greater than 70% of the maximum and less, and at most, so that means less than 85% of the maximum. So if I let y be the target heart rate, we have to get it up above 70%. So y has got to be greater than or equal to 0.7 of this maximum, theoretical maximum. And now the other end is we don't want it to go above 85% of the maximum. So that means y has to, y is the target heart rate, has to be less than or equal to 85% of the maximum. So that's 0.85 times 220 minus x. So what I just did here was the hard part, really. I came up with the 4 inequalities. There's 2 of them. Those weren't too bad. These 2 inequalities I think were quite challenging to figure out. But once we have these 4 inequalities, now we just graph them. We graph them the same way we did in Algebra 1 and the same way we've been doing in Algebra 2. And see, they graphed the 4 lines. Here's the x equals 20. Here's the x equals 65. This is one of these lines, and this is the other line, and this gray area is where they all intersect. So the now we're looking up a 40-year-old person has a heart rate of 150. 40-year-old person, 150, 40, 150. Is this person's heart rate in the zone? Yeah, it is. See, 150, 40 is right there, so it's in the gray area. So that answer is yes, it is within the target zone.